to a somewhat later, but not as late as I've been live show. Um, yeah, yesterday last week I missed the mark entirely. I had to do it on Sunday. Before that, I had to do it like at 8 or 9. It was just some ridiculously late time. If you don't know, the desired time is 5ish. I'm a few hours late, but it's been a big day. I had to be out the house for a big chunk of it. But that being said, I got like a little office space. I'm going to be in, and I was thinking of just doing live shows while I'm there. I'm going to be the only person there, not a lot of work to do. So yeah, it's going to be a new environment. Um, a lot of new accoutrements for the background. Right now, we're um, getting some art for it. So that's gonna be it's gonna be a dope opportunity. It's gonna allow me to do this a little bit more frequently, work on some other stuff I've been looking to work on, and get funding. But anywho, um, I come to you with a bit of somber news. We may have lost the only good person in politics. That's I was able to be there celebrating her 10 years of flawless victories in politics, even though there was like billionaires spending all kinds of money to try to shut her down. Shama Suwant picture here. This was just the other day. Um, she was celebrating the 10 years in office, and also she's not running again. Like she's saying, she's establishing a national movement, workers strike back. Uh, I'm hopeful um, that there's a lot of success because a lot of the ideas that need to catch on. However, she was the only good person in Seattle city hall. Like she was the only person like even acknowledging that the genocide going on in Gaza is a bad thing. I mean, she definitely didn't go far enough. Um, I'm one of those people who thinks like the people profiting off of genocide should be locked up. At the very least, taxed into poverty. You shouldn't be able to get rich off of killing people, or you shouldn't be able to get rich uh, sending people into the streets. Amplifying our homelessness epidemic. We shouldn't be able to get rich off of private prisons. These are the things like they destroy societies when you allow psychopaths to make money off of it. Um, and the people who came up with this idea, like, oh yes, we will blow up these people. We'll spend all of our money on war and poison our water, and we'll watch society crumble. All these people who are behind that shit, funding lobbyists, they need to be locked up. I'm of that belief. Um, I said as much. This is city council when uh, uh, Shama Sawant called a vote for the Gaza ceasefire, and nobody nobody even seconded it because they did not want to be on record. But I said my piece. See if I can find it. Restore our faith in justice, democracy, and humanity. If this is not what about today, please make sure you go up today. Hello, Nathan Fisher here. Of course, I'm against the extermination of Palestinian children, but the fact that we have to come here and tell you guys that it's wrong, it lets me know that you guys just need these pink slips. We are currently building a future without you. I'm not talking to you, I'm talking past you. Keep playing your Angry Birds or ordering on Amazon, whatever you're doing. All right, yeah, I brought a bunch of little pink slips there, like the little pink slip pins. I was giving them out because while we were, aside from the fact that Shama Sawant was the only person to uh, acknowledge the ceasefire is bad, she was also the only person who actually showed up to City Hall. And this is not the first time. Like when they shut down. rent control. Because nobody wanted to vote for rent control except for Shama Sawant. Um, no one else showed up. It was only her. And then they had the new war on drugs 2.0. They had a few, like two or three other people show up because they thought it was a good thing to start the new war on drugs because they were getting a lot of money and it was organized. When I say it was just like there were groups of people who were organizing with certain members who it was like these colored people who they had like rooting for the war on drugs, and it was a sea of white faces. I was like one of the first colored people to speak against it. But it seemed like they were trying to make it seem like, oh yeah, no black people. They want a new war on drugs. There was one dude. He was like, my kid, we got these junkies, and I was like, yeah, I got my issues with the war on drugs as well. Uh my school, we had a overdose. We had multiple overdoses, but it was like one that had just went down and the person just died like right across the street. And anytime I see someone with aluminum foil and straws, I just feel like it's about to be bad. They could be coming from a family reunion and they just carrying some leftovers and they're about to drink a soda. But I just assume they're gonna be lighting up something and smoking from an aluminum something or other. And it's just it's just I got the trauma. You know, um, and it's yeah, it is bad. But my thing was a lot of the people who we see like all fucked off on fentanyl and whatever, they don't know what they're injecting. No one's like, yeah, sign me up. I want some fentanyl. They might be like, yeah, I'll take some heroin, please. I'll take some crack, meth, pill. Anything could be laced with fentanyl. And yeah, so my solution would be uh, legalize and regulate, so people know what they're ingesting. You know, and then also when you legalize and regulate, the government doesn't have to over serve. Like when it's illegal, you got the most nefarious ne'er do wells in charge of the drugs. They can cut it with anything. It could be the government, because when alcohol was illegal, the government was tainting batches of alcohol. People were dying from that, and then they were like, "We can't legalize this alcohol. It's killing people." Well, it's killing more people because it's illegal, and people are making this shit in their bathtubs. So yeah, my solution would be legalize and regulate. But the city council members, they were taking all kinds of money from these corporate landlords, and they wanted like policy enacted that would allow them to just crack down on all eyesores in the community. People who were like lowering their property value, even though those people are only on the streets because these corporate landlords rigged the government to make them homeless. This is like well known. Um, uh, the subprime mortgage crisis was manufactured by some of the greediest psychopaths. Um, and last time I went to the Bay, I was like looking for places, and it was someone who was a realtor, and he was around through around 2008, and he referred to that time as the bloodbath because they just had to kick people out left and right. People were getting in these uh, payback systems where they couldn't pay back the money. It's like they started off, yes, okay, I could pay back. Was it $5 a month? Then it immediately went up to 10,000 a month, and it just like progressively got higher and higher. And it's just yeah. So what ended up happening was crooks like Barack Obama took a fuckload of money from Wall Street, from Citibank, all the biggest crooks in the world. Um, then instead of like bailing out the home buyers, like helping them out, he he bailed out the banks. So the banks got the money and the houses, and that's when we started seeing a uptick in billionaires. Like the people who were at the top rigging the system got extremely rich because now they can like do what used to be crimes. Um, and get away with it, and nobody, and there's nothing we can do to fight back because all of our politicians are crooked, all of them, except for Shama Sawant. That's why I was sad that um, to see her leave, but her whole thing was movements. It's really she's just like she works with movements. She's that's where her power lies. Like all of this stuff. Where is it? The $15 minimum wage. How did she get that? It was a movement. It wasn't really her. She was just a conduit for divinity. The divinity that came when the people came together. Right? When we fight, we win. That's one thing you can learn from her time in office. So yes, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of a lot more crooked people to replace her. I'm pretty sure. But we need to put the fear of the people into those crooks. And I like one of the things that just let me know she was different, and I never seen anyone else do this before. But she she donates all of her money over what the Seattle median income is. So she understands how workers get by because she only takes like what they make from her salary, and everything else goes back to funding worker organizing. So it's just like I don't know anyone who does that. Most of the politicians I know, they're crooks. They not only do they take the money that we pay them, but they take more money. They take the kickbacks from the corporations um, that want some more corporate welfare. It's like a sick fucking system. But yeah, I don't know anyone who does that, and that's why she's probably the most valuable um, politician we have. Because if you know what true value is, it is not derived by what you have. It comes from what you can go without. You know, and the fact that she's willing to give all that money back, the fact that she doesn't need the little the trinkets and gewgaws of these other politicians. She doesn't need like to be an AOC type character. Someone who just celebrated on the fucking MSNBCs and the CNNs. They never bring her on, because she is the truth. And one of the things I noticed, because I was like organizing with DSA, had a lot of hope. I mean, and on a local level, a lot of the members of DSA, like they're with it, right? But the leadership totally fucking corrupt. So it's like, soon as COVID hit, right? I'm thinking like I'm seeing like all these policies, these mandates hitting all across the country, and I'm like, man, an organization like DSA, they're definitely going to be fighting this craziness. Like we're supposed to just blindly trust these criminal pharmaceutical companies that we were spending years trying to just overthrow. We were organizing for healthcare for all. What does that mean? It means putting these for-profit corporations out of business so they can't get between us and healthcare. They have a sickness management system that they want to create for us, where they take a bunch of money and don't really give us anything of value. So I'm like, obviously, DSA is going to be organizing against these mandates because it puts our trust in our lives in the hands of these crooks. But I was wrong because as soon as the mandates hit everywhere, it was just like you couldn't even go to a DSA meeting without showing paperwork. And it was like people who were proudly, they were like, "Oh my God, you got to show it." And it's like people who I've seen before, I'd organized with, and I'm just like, I'm seeing their paranoia and panic, and I'm just like, yeah, y'all are. It's concerning. I thought all of DSA was just bad, and Shama was one of those people who organized with it. But you know, she started her own little thing. Uh, I don't know if
Or here,
she started it, but she was definitely with it. And yeah, workers strike back. It's not DSA. Um, thank God. And I just pray that they don't go corrupt like every other major supposed movement for the workers. So fingers crossed on that one. Yo, what's cracking? Uh, Nada mucho. Just starting a little late live, talking about the history of one of the only good people in politics that I've ever known. Um, Shama Sawant. This is her and I on her the celebration of her 10 years in office, 10 years of flawless victories. But she is leaving office in a few weeks or days at this point. She doesn't have much longer. So it's just, I was just talking about some of my experiences with her. And I was playing like one of the last interactions while we were in town hall. Well, you know, she was the only person um, showing up for the people of Palestine, um, trying to call for a ceasefire. Seattle's the largest city to call for a ceasefire in um, uh, Palestine, Gaza Strip. Um, I know they don't have the power. I mean, like I said, well, I kind of get to it in this, but yeah, I want to see um, the Boeing's. I want to see the Microsofts, all the people involved with creating the technology to drop this horror on people. I want to see them at the very minimum poor. Like you shouldn't be able to profit off of murdering people. But you know, at a more sensible minimum, locked up in prison. Because they came up with this diabolically evil fucking plan to kill people and get rich. They're super villains. Like motherfuckers need to be behind bars because they cannot be trusted. They're just gonna be thinking of like more crazy shit to do, robbing us and killing people. The same people they're invested in for-profit prisons, locking people up. Same people they're invested in the education system, miseducating the people to the fullest. You know, it's got us. You know, people don't know what fucking gender they are at this point. You know, but other kids in other countries, they got uh, they have the ability to like filter their water, grow their own food. You know, just common sense shit that we should be teaching our kids, but instead we're just like teaching them to question the most basic of shit and just hyper obsessed with sex from a very young age, and you know asking for fucking instead of like curing cancer and like fixing homelessness and doing just basic stuff where uh, profiting off of homelessness where we're fucking funding uh, 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 drugs that stunt their hormones, giving them sex reassignment surgeries at young ages. You know, it's truly fucking lunacy, and they're profiting off of all the craziest shit, and they need to be locked up. There, I said it. I mean, anybody who has over $1 billion, like I said, your value is not what you have. It's what you can go without. And if you feel like you need $100 billion, you're the most worthless piece of shit in the planet. If you need more than $1 billion, what can you buy with 2 billion that you can't get with one? You know, like most people, they would be at a loss. Like it would be impossible for them to spend $1 billion. And billionaires, like it's hard for them to spend it because think about all that interest. They're making millions of dollars on interest every year, and they can't live off of that. I mean, they can. That's why their money always goes up every year. You never see like a billionaire just take a hit. Like, oh, I wiped out world hunger and homelessness last year. So yeah, so it went down about 40 billion. I just had to do it, or at least buy like a dope pair of shoes. Do something useful, you know. and don't say space program. That should be R. I mean, we're funding the space program. These billionaires are getting rich, robbing us, and then they decide to start their own space program, and they exclude us. And it's just like they show preferential treatment to uh, uh, their Epstein flight log friends. And it's just like, yeah, we definitely don't need any of that shit. We need a lot more. We need a prison strong enough to lock up a billionaire. Just somehow, some way, I feel like we can create it. Oh, but this is. I just finished this.
Create a system where we see war criminals doing the perp walk. I want to see a city council that holds Boeing and all of these tech companies doing Pentagon contracts accountable. I want to see people behind bars for the criminality that we are seeing right now. I don't want to just see a ceasefire. We need justice for the Palestinian people and justice for all people. And the fact that you have to be told, and a lot of you guys are on your phones occupied with something else, like this doesn't matter to you, it just lets me know what kind of person you are, and history is watching you.
Well, yeah, and that was like the most offensive part about like the city halls. Like they don't even. Not only do they not show up for their jobs, like they zoom at best. A lot of times they don't turn on the camera, so you don't know what the fuck they're doing, right? And then the ones who have the camera on are clearly looking at other stuff. It was like someone who just kept talking. Someone was doing like a web search. They were looking at their phone the whole time. I'm just like, yeah, you motherfuckers is playing Angry Birds and online shopping, and clearly not paying attention. It's been multiple times where I asked them a question, no one responded because they're not listening to us, right? They're intentionally not listening. They tune us out. The only person who is engaged is Shama Sawan. Um, and it's just, like I said, it's a shame to see her leave. But um, I'm hopeful that the movement, because the people who were there, like celebrating her 10 years, they're ready to continue the movement. I'm ready to get some addresses, dox the politicians selling us out. Like I said, we need Boeing and all these war criminals to do the perp walk. Just lock them the fuck up. That would be glorious. Oh yeah, and I'm sorry I've been ignoring the comments over here. Um, a new sickness is coming. New sickness just in time for 2024. Oh yeah, they gotta have it like they're already. Bill Gates prophesized another pandemic. I don't know how he knew it, but he also knew COVID was coming. This guy, he's really smart. He has all this knowledge of upcoming epidemics. Never even graduated college. Believe it or not. I mean, maybe he's got like some insider knowledge at the Jeffrey Epstein Island. Maybe that's where. I mean, because he's like coordinating with all kinds of government officials and whatever. But wherever he gets it from, he is just he's like he's like a medium. He has like some supernatural ability. Maybe that's how he got so rich. Or maybe there's something else. I don't know. Could be that he just, he owns our government and he knows what to invest in um, uh, because he's evil. And he corrupted our government and our politics, and he has the media lying to us so people believe it. And they don't call out the fact that he is like, he should be locked up, probably more than that. That's like a discussion for the people. Once we just like rid ourselves from his propaganda, because he's in charge of education. Like I said, didn't even graduate college. He's in charge of medicine. Didn't graduate college. He's in charge of uh, food. 51% of the farms in America, he's in charge of them. Didn't graduate. Right? How does he have time to do anything? I mean, I think you and I know he doesn't create shit. He's a monopolist in charge of shit, but he adds no value. Um, and then he just, he has like a lot of connections with government officials. But yeah, he's definitely one of those people we got to lock up. So many people to lock up. But yeah, the new pandemic is coming out just in time for um, the new election. It's that election strain of disease. So it's just, yeah, it's don't be surprised. Do you read the chat? Yes, yes, I do. But I was just taking time to express my yearning to see Shama Sawant stay. But it's also a lot of promise and seeing what she's building and being a part of it. Um, so yeah, I just know um, we need someone like her, more people like her. Z Kim Gidas. Don't know what that is. Is that like a magic phrase? Like you say it out loud, like abracadabra, and it something good happens. I don't know. I don't keep up with trendy stuff either. If that's what that is. Ooh, baby. Yeah. So. Oh yeah, and if you haven't already, this is already uploaded. This is uploaded on Rumble. But if you go to Netflix.net, it'll be there because right now Netflix.net just takes you to my Rumble page. So, um, and I'm working on the actual website page. It's gonna have a shop for purchases and whatnot. Um, but yeah, this is um, it's a puppet. I'm gonna. This has its own TikTok. This is a series, news puppets. I believe that's what it's called on TikTok. And I haven't uploaded this one up there because it's, yeah, I'm not. I don't too much fuck with TikTok. I had so much shit censored on TikTok. It's just people kept asking me to upload there, and I was like, okay, maybe it'll be something better than YouTube, and it's not. I mean, I had more videos censored on TikTok than YouTube. However, I didn't lose a channel yet. But this channel, I don't, cause I think it's my face. My face activates the algorithm. Because the news puppets hasn't been censored yet. But also, I figure out like ways of saying what not being direct and saying what I'm saying, like kind of make a joke or something instead of saying uh, um, the occupation is bad, Israel, a bunch of white supremacist sacks of shit, murdering people, murdering children, heartless, evil. I mean, because you say that anything about Israel, even you could point out that a lot of them are former apartheid benefactors from South Africa, Boers. Then they converted to Judaism and moved to Israel and brought apartheid over there. You can say that, and they'll call you anti-Semitic. It's got nothing to do with their religion, right? The people who were anti-Semitic, hateful towards the Jews were other Europeans, and then somehow brown people have to pay by giving up their homes and lives, being murdered in mass. uh, so it's just like, and before you had Ashkenazi Jews going in there trying to steal the land, the Nazis were there, because Nazis are an extension of the Ashkenazi, or yeah, maybe the vice versa, because Ashkenazi has Nazi in it. Uh, um, uh, it had nothing to do with their religion. Once again, because it's a lot of black Jews, Ethiopian Jews. They were being sterilized by Israel because it's a white supremacist, hateful government. Um, Not to single them out, I hate my government as well because it's equally racist, maybe even more so. Um, but yeah, it's just quite vile. So I ended up making this video. It's just like I try to make a character who takes the side of Israel, and then just point out how stupid you sound when you take the side of government that is like not going to look well in the eyes of history. I mean, even right now, most people are totally against what Israel is about. Like even people who supported Israel their whole lives, they're like, "Oh, this is a genocide. Why are y'all murdering so many kids? What do they have to do with this?" So, but yeah, this is News Puppets. It's over on NatesVlogs.net.
Israeli soldiers who are perambulating through his village. Apparently, good, hard-working Jews can't walk around with military-grade weaponry without raising the eyebrows of a few bigots. Today's guest, the junior Nazi in training, Muhammad. Now, Muhammad, before we can get this interview started, I need you to condemn Hamas and their actions on October 7th. Damn it, Muhammad, I'm serious.
Okay, if you can't see it, that's someone being asked to condemn the actions of Hamas after being murdered by Israeli soldiers, because that's like a thing that happens. You have to condemn Hamas, but nobody's saying condemn the decades of apartheid, mowing the lawn, the Nakba 1, Nakba 2.0. No one's like asking to condemn the evil being perpetrated by the Israeli and American government, British government. We know we're both colonies of Britain. We like to think we had our independence. We got rid of tyranny. If you think America got rid of tyranny, you are delusional. We switched tyrants. It's just like uh, um, if like people just were like, man, you know what? I'm so sick of this government like just like poisoning us. It's like creating these systems of extraction. You know, like the cost of living is going up. We don't have housing, healthcare. It's just the government is bad. So we should let Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates be our new president and vice president. It's just like, no, you wouldn't be making your shit better. It'd just be like a lateral move at best. Um, and it's just, yeah, when we just moved from the royalty over in Britain running us to the psychopaths who they hired to slaughter natives, do all this slave trading, underhanded business. We let them like run the show, and lo and behold, when you have like the richest man as president who's obsessed with money, Britain still had a fuckload of money. Um, and yeah, they were able to corrupt all of our government officials. Woodrow Wilson, he was a bitch to the European banking cartels. Brought in the Federal Reserve, ability, the mechanism for the IRS to just take money directly from you, lock you up if you question war. That's why Julian Assange is in jail right now. That's why Edward Snowden is on the run because of primitive legislation, primitive um, legal creations by Woodrow Wilson and his handlers out in Europe. And then we became like the bitch for Europe. We fight their wars. We fund their wars that they want us to fight. And then we lose all the people. We're basically big Ukraine, and then we start looking for like a little Ukraine. Um, we have our own satellite, but yeah, no, we just need to stop letting psychopaths run the show, and yeah, it's high time they do the perp walk. And you gotta keep in mind when we fight, we win. I mean, it's sad to see Shama Sawant go, but it's just a reminder that Politicians don't win shit. It's movements. That's what she just kept coming around to in her going away speech, and this is something that's very fucking true. Because uh, Abe Lincoln didn't free the slaves. We had giant movements of people who were just trying to end slavery. I mean, if he could have fought the fucking Civil War and not free one slave, he would have, right? But you had uprisings, you had just these popular movements growing, right? Same with FDR. It's not like he gave us um, um, unemployment insurance, social security, and all that shit out of the goodness of his heart. We had movements that have been destroyed, that have been targeted by our government, FBI, CIA, all these evil organizations, and it's high time we just continue to build bigger and bigger movements. As she also Shama called out Bernie Sanders because he had a movement that he did not utilize. He just was like, oh, yeah, the DNC fucked me over twice. Vote for Hillary. Vote for Joe Biden. Joe's my buddy. Genocide Joe. He's a good man. He got in line. He didn't. He did not utilize the movement. And there might be some serious pressure. Might be FBI, CIA. Like they're like torturing some family members, holding them hostage. I don't know. I just know I felt betrayed. Um, and it's just Shama. She's like only person who's like prepared to like actually build a movement, work with movements, voice the concerns of the movement. Um, yeah, so it's just like we need more. We need more movements, and then we'll find people like her, and I mean whether they're elected or outside of politics entirely. We need people to be afraid of us. We need like the politicians. We need to like the corporations that run the politicians. They got to be out of business. They got to be. We got to like defund these motherfuckers because right now we're funding our oppressors. You know, like you see them building bigger robot dogs with more firepower. Like that should be concerning to all of us. That's not that doesn't end well. If you're in the military, especially, you need to be paying attention to that shit because they're building that shit for you. Because they know one day you're gonna be like, wait, this organization I'm dedicating my life to is poisoning my family, and you're gonna like start to question, maybe even uh, group together with some of your other brothers in arms and run into the corporations that are poisoning your community. I mean, if you know anything about the Battle of Athens, I think it was Athens, Tennessee. That's when a bunch of soldiers coming back from World War II, they saw their government totally corrupted, and then they picked up arms and went against them. The police came out. It was just all kinds of craziness, but eventually the soldiers won. And yeah, and they realized that that's a possibility. That's why you're seeing these robots. That's why you're seeing like just the biological weapons, all of this shit because they suspect that you might pick up arms. So that's why I'm like we need to do it sooner than later because those robots now um what you call it Elon Musk has a new robot, and it's funny because last year around this time I put out a video, the most dangerous technologies of 2022, right? And in that I called out multiple Elon Musk things, and now I feel like that would be relevant, like highly relevant. Let's check it out. No, no, no. No. Come on. This is. We are going to find this. Yeah, and this is concerning because I was having issues on Rumble. I was trying to make Rumble the central place to do my live streams, and everything else is just extra. But they had a cyber attack, and before that even happened, I was like complaining because my streams. I paid for this app so I could like stream on Rumble, make it like super easy, smooth, and all that stuff. And I had so many issues. It was like over a month I wasn't able to stream, so I just gave up on trying to stream. And I realized, oh, so they are being targeted. And if they are being targeted, obviously I'm the first one to get targeted. Because, like YouTube, they started really feeling that censorship last year. That's when I lost 3 channels. But before that happened, I lost my first channel, my largest channel, back in 2014. So I'm like the first one to notice it because I'm usually saying the realest shit. I'm just gonna take it as that. 35 weeks. So let's see. All right, top 5 deadliest technologies of 2022. Let's see if I got anything right. Keeping in mind that Elon Musk is now working on deadly robots or robots. He's just saying helpful robots.
Hey, Internet. 2023 is almost here, so I thought it'd be fun to take a look back at the most deadly technologies of 2022. I'm going to start the list off right with the technology that's being pushed by the world's largest welfare queen, Elon Musk. A little something called Neuralink. Now, Neuralink is a brain chip that allows Elon Musk's company to crack open your skull, dig inside of your brain, and put this chip in that kills 15 out of 23 of the monkeys that they put it in.
Replacing a piece of skull with like a smartwatch.
Also, you can handle your device without using your thumbs. Does the benefit outweigh the risk? I'll let you decide that. For me personally, seeing corporations being absolved of all responsibility for killing people tells me it's not worth it for me. But it's your body, your choice. I know a lot of you guys out there want to be able to play solitaire.
I know a lot of people won't agree. I stand by that. I stand by just seeing corporations get away with murder and like being totally absolved from the harm they cause. I that makes me just. I still don't want to get Neuralink, believe it or not. I know a lot of people. They probably just got the chip in their head, and that's how they're able to like watch this stream because it's like telepathy, just for electronics. And you might be proud of your new brain chip. I had some chips upstairs, tortilla chips, totally different. Um, yeah, but yeah, I just can't do the brain chip thing. That's just not me, and I respect the fact that probably most of you guys have the brain chip. But yeah, I'm still don't trust Elon Musk or anybody. Like I said, most worthless people. He has like last time I checked, it was like over $200 billion in value, or not value, and net assets. He's when it comes to value, no value because you need over $200 billion. You know, value is what you can go without. Uh, if you feel the need for 200 billion, you're worthless, and that's why our money is becoming as worthless as these people who hoard this money. But let's go on.
I like using fingers. As a matter of fact, I have a few choice fingers for Elon Musk and all the billionaires who are stealing from us. Next on the list, killer robots. You heard me correctly. The robot revolution that was prophesized in the Terminator film series is upon us. Now, I've seen these things online, but I had my first experience with one in person just a few days ago when I went to California. They look like the first generation Daleks. Maybe they were trying to appeal to Doctor Who fans. Now, the robot I
That was concerning. Yes, I've seen those things before online, but yeah, I saw my first RoboCop when I was in Cali last year, and yeah, this is like not something we should normalize. And they just made it, or last year they made it legal for robots to kill people, at least in San Francisco.
In Huntington Park, California, wasn't allowed to kill people yet. But just a few days after that picture was taken, San Francisco passed a law that allowed their robots to use lethal force. I guess those politicians never saw RoboCop, iRobot, Mitchell's versus the Machines, Terminator, Doctor Who, or any litany of programs showcasing rogue robots killing people at random. Now, if you're anything like me, you would be saying the only benefit I could see of having robots in the police force is that they don't have to kill anyone of anyone dying as long as it's a robot in place of a police person. But no, their logic is the robots have to be able to kill people because robot lives matter. Apparently, they matter more than human lives, since they're investing more money in killer robots than housing their homeless. I guess it makes sense that the robot revolution would start in California.
Oh yeah, I guess yeah they did do something about the homeless in Frisco. I gotta acknowledge that. Shout out to Xi Jinping, the Chinese dictator who we're told is so bad because if he didn't go out to San Francisco, then the hundreds, maybe thousands of homeless people constantly on the streets wouldn't have had some respite from the streets. I don't know what they did with the homeless people. As a matter of fact, he might have Xi Jinping might have got those homeless people put in some kind of a chili. Who knows? But they weren't on the street, and and it takes one of our state enemies, one of the people who we say is so evil, to come to our one of our cities for us to do something about the homelessness problem. Um, so we need more state enemies coming to our country. Putin, feel free to come to Seattle or Detroit, or we can get was it Nicolas Maduro, get him out in Chicago, and then we could finally do something about the homelessness. Because one thing all these countries have in common, fewer homeless people per capita than America. A lot of them they just do away with homelessness. They just got housing programs. You're just good. Um, America is for profit. We got these corporations in charge of our um, housing. Like they're buying up housing, making it artificially high. We got more empty houses than we do homeless people, but we don't give those houses to the homeless people because we're run by psychopaths. And like I said, no one should be able to profit off of making your society worse. So making more people homeless or dead, taking away their freedom, that those shouldn't be profitability opportunities. It's just because when you do that, you're going to have psychopaths exploiting it. And you just look at you wonder why we got so many shootings, mass shootings, because we praise murderers. We praise mass murderers. Like the only way for a lot of people to make it out of poverty is to sign up and become a hitman for the government. Like and then like we train them from a young age. So like those people who are really good at drone bombing, like brown people in enemy states. Yeah, they start off as being really good on Call of Duty, and it's the same people who designed the killing mechanisms in the game, design the killing mechanisms on the planes. So yeah, that's something to be knowledgeable of. Nate, love you and everything you stand for. Well, I love you for showing up. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me.
Since they elected Arnold Schwarzenegger to be the
Let's see.
governor. This has probably been in motion for years. Of course, it starts all small with robot vacuums and smart TVs. Then it works its way up to robot politicians and killer robots. It's a natural progression. Why couldn't we stop them, damn it? Now, multiple people have said that I have nothing to worry about because these robots will be controlled by the police. The same police force that have been slaughtering people by the thousands every year with zero accountability. Yay! That makes me feel safe. It does my heart good to know that we don't have to worry about sentient robots killing us and enslaving us during an uprising. It's just gonna be bigoted cops killing us and enslaving us as a part of our largely racist, anti-poor criminal justice system. Those are gonna be human-led slavery camps, and that should make you feel better. Next on my list of the deadliest technologies of 2022 is mRNA vaccines. Now, there are going to be a bunch of conspiracy theorists out there who assume I'm talking.
This was cause I posted this video on my tech channel, the only remaining YouTube channel I have, and yeah, cause they got rid of every channel with over 10,000 subscribers. But yeah, this was I believe this is the reason why I got a strike on that video. It's taken off, so you can't see it on my tech channel. But I did post it there because it was talking about technology. Um, but yeah, Google, it was invested in pretty much all these technologies, and you can't say anything ill about their investments. They protect their bottom line, um, and you know it's just it should be illegal. Pretty sure in every other country it is illegal, but we still have yet to see the people on the board of Google doing the perp walk, even though they are criminals in multitudes of ways. A lot of them are CIA, FBI. That's why I call it Gmail, because it's being read by G-men.
The COVID-19 vaccine. Of course, for the censors out there, just know that's not what I'm talking about at all. If you haven't been paying attention, I got my vaccine live on camera.
The needle doesn't even break the skin. It's just a circle, circle, dot, dot. Now I got my COVID shot. Then it's circle, circle, square, square. Now I got it everywhere. I'm good to go with no need for a booster. But if you did get a booster, their boosters would be totally safe since they're made from the ingredients as the vaccine.
All right. Yeah. Well, we're approaching cutoff time for some of these sites, so I'll get off before they kick me off. But yeah, it was good to catch up with you guys, and like I said, next week I'll have office space, and I'm getting art for it. So while I'm there, since I'm going to be the only one there, I'm going to probably be doing some live streaming pretty much the whole time. So special holiday live stream schedule. So stay tuned for that. And bring back the funny stuff. Rewinds were my favorite. Your videos helped me through so much. Well, yes. I mean, I still got new rewinds, employee evaluations. That's more so NatesVlogs.net. These sites I don't post those kinds of videos because these are the censor sites. These are the sites where it's just like I could spend days, weeks editing something. I've uploaded on one of these sites. They take it down in seconds. So it's like I don't do that on these sites that I do live streams on. The newer rewinds are over on, like I said, NatesVlogs.net, but I upload them through Rumble. And right now, if you go to NatesVlogs.net, it'll just take you directly to my Rumble page. But I guess I have the biggest catalog of rewinds and employee evaluations on Odyssey.com/@NatesVlogs. Because they have all of my previous rewinds and employee evaluations, because it basically just synced with my YouTube channel, NatesVlogs. So I don't have like all the NatesVlog stuff, but my NatesVlogs stuff is over there. And but that being said, one of the benefits of Rumble is like for me to post it up there, I take all the ads out, all the sponsorship stuff. Like if I did it on YouTube, I don't let them like keep their ad because fuck most of those products that I had to work with. I just needed the rent paid. LA was expensive as shit. And then some of the stuff is I probably would stand by it. But some of the stuff it was just like, come on, coding. I needed the money. And a lot of shit was just like, I tried to put in like a warning, like, oh man, this shit broke on me, or I had issues with this. I can see it breaking, and then it eventually broke after I made the thing. But then, like, for me to get paid, I had to like they made me take it out, and then a lot of that shit was on my tech channel. I just took all those videos down. It was yeah, I didn't want people to be thinking I was trying to sell some janky shit. So as soon as the payment cleared, I just took the shit down. So um, yeah, just don't. It's just I try not to contribute to the misinformation that YouTube wants you to do. Because one of the big reasons why that shit was so fucked up, Google ended up buying the sponsorship place I was going to. They went to total shit after Google bought it, and now it's just out of business. So I started partnering with a different sponsorship site where I have more freedom. But Google, they're evil. Just I know I'm getting like sidetracked talking about like a lot of stuff, but Google is just an evil company, and they're hard to avoid. But there's a lot of lawsuits against them that are winning moving forward. So I mean, I just take solace in that. I mean, we got to keep fighting the good fight because when we fight, we win, and we got a few more wins. And I hope you're ready for your blessing because 2024 is going to be 2024K. Um, you know, it's solid gold and whatnot. And do what you got to do. Well, yes. Well, and that's what. Just go to NatesVlogs.net. I am going to be posting some more rewinds. I got one that it's been uh, in my editing pile for a minute. I shot it a while ago. I just haven't finished chopping it up. I've been busy with so much other shit. Um, and I'm still busy with other shit because I thought I was done with this one project, and I still gotta go back on that. But yeah, I do got like a new rewind. Now that you mentioned that, it'll put a little fire under me to get that one done a little quicker. And um yeah, and there's some other stuff that I already downloaded the video. I started to write up the script for the rewind, and yeah, I'll do that one as soon as I'm done with this one editing. And yeah, I'll do like a that'll be my New Year's resolution: more rewinds, and yeah, I'll do some extra employee evaluations while I'm at it. So yeah, just NatesVlogs.net. You want to see that they're about to cut me off. So love y'all. Don't forget to be good to each other. NatesVlogs.net, and until next time.